This video is brought to you by Dr. Kristen R. Bromley's Guitar Method Book Series and Online Music Academy.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kristen Bromley. Welcome to my online academy. I am thrilled to be here helping you with playing the guitar. In this mini course, it's all about the basic chords and strumming. This is lesson 21. In this lesson, we're going to work on bar chords moved further up the neck. So, in the last few lessons, we worked on some bar chords down here in first position that pop in there, intermixed with other first position chords, the more basic chords. Some people call them the cowboy chords because played in all those old folk songs, and actually as time has progressed, it played in pop songs and everything. So, we're going to work, though, today on looking at moving bar chords up the neck. And so it's pretty cool. We're going to work on the major forms, kind of explain it a little bit, get us practicing just a little bit with it up further along the neck. So we'll jump right in. Now, with these forms, and you might have realized this a little bit as we were working, we played F and then we played F sharp. The shape is the exact same. It's just positioned differently, and that's the magic of the bar chords. We only need to know one shape, and we can play it clear along the neck in all the different keys. And so that was the 6th-string form I was playing there. So we have our E chord, the normal E chord that we play. If we take that shape and put a bar, our bar replaces our finger that's barring across all the strings, replaces this nut, and it shortens the length of the neck, and then our fingers go in that same shape that we would play an E chord in front of it, and now we have an F because we have our index fingers playing this 1st fret, which is an F note, instead of the open E string for our E chord. And so we're using that same shape, and we can take that shape and make it F sharp, or G flat, and then G sharp or A flat, A, and so on. And that's our 6th-string form, and I have that written up here on the board. 6th-string form because the root, and I've circled it, or the pitch that the chord is named for, is here on the 6th string. So whatever note that we're playing, wherever this is positioned, whatever note that is, that's the version that we're playing. So if I'm playing a B flat, it's a B flat major chord. If I'm playing a D, it's a D major chord, all the way up there at the 10th fret. So we bar there, and then we put the shape. So down in first position, I have my bar at the 1st fret, middle finger goes at the 2nd fret on the 3rd string, ring finger goes at the 3rd fret on the 5th string, pinky goes at the 3rd fret on the 4th string, and we strum across all 6. We've played F and F sharp like that in this little mini series. So, the trick of learning to where these are located is knowing these notes along the neck. It uses the chromatic scale. If you're not familiar with the chromatic scale, there's a quick answer video that can get you going on that. There's also an in-detailed lesson in the quick answer videos that gets you going on bar chords in general all over the neck. So if you want more details, you can go there. But I'll just say our natural notes, there's 7 of them, A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. So they all have a letter name. On the 6th string, they go alphabetically as we move higher, and they're at frets 1, 3, 5, 7. So the odd numbered frets, 1, 3, 5, 7, and you likely have dots, at least at 5 and 7, where you can see the location here. You might also have them at the 3rd fret, and some guitars even have it at the 1st fret, so you can visually see that. But frets 1, 3, 5, 7, and so that goes F, G, A, B, and then it switches to the evens, 8, 10, 12, so C, D, E at 8, 10, 12. And E at 12 is where it starts over the open string 12th fret. So if I put that shape with my bar at the 1st fret, I'm playing F, 3rd fret G, 5th fret A, 7th fret B, 8th fret C, 10th fret D, 12th fret, I'm back to E, just like my open E, only we call that 1 octave higher. Now, sharps and flats, there's 5 of those that go in between. A sharp is 1 fret higher than the natural note, and a flat is 1 fret lower. So my F is at the 1st fret, F sharp is at the 2nd fret, which is also G flat. So there's multiple names, so G flat goes 1 fret lower. So that's all we have to remember. Flats are 1 fret lower than the natural note, sharps are 1 fret higher. And even if you saw something like C flat, the same principle applies. I go down to the 7th fret instead of the 8th. but that's also a B. So there's enharmonic equivalence, meaning there's more than one name for a given chord, but all we have to do is know flats are 1 fret lower to find them, and sharps are 1 fret higher. So we're going to come to that in a minute when we play some of these progressions I've got here on the board. But before we do, let's look at the 5th string form. So our open 5th string is an A, and we have our A chord shape. Now we've played B flat and B in previous lessons, so it's just like F and F sharp. Now we're kind of using the A chord shape and putting a bar in front of it. So we normally have our A. If we put a bar there across those strings, and we're only playing the top 5 strings, I usually just mute that 6th string with my index finger. So just set it up against it, so if I inadvertently strum it, it doesn't ring as something I don't want it to. And then I use my ring finger to just bar across the 3 right there on the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th strings at the 3rd fret for B flat. And then when I'm barring, I mute this top string usually, and that's okay. If I want it to ring, I'll use fingers 2, 3, and 4. Some people prefer this fingering anyway. It's kind of up to you. This one is kind of the beast, as we've learned in previous lessons. So on this string then, that's a B flat. I move it up and it becomes a B. It's all about where this note is located, what pitch that is along the neck. On the 5th string, we have our first natural note at the 2nd fret. So it's a little different, but we've practiced with B and B flat, so you're probably already kind of familiar there. But then it follows the same, 3, 5, 7, but it's going to go C, D, E, and then 8, 10, 12, F, G, A. So C, D, E, F, G, A. Let's take a look at playing some progressions. I've got some just up here sort of in the center of the neck, and it gets you going. You'll find songs that have them all over, and as long as you know the principle of locating them, you can figure it out. And all we need is these shapes. Now these are the major shapes. In the next lesson, in lesson 22, I'll go over the dominant 7 shapes. Lesson 23, it's the minor shapes. And in lesson 24, we do a little song that combines them together. But if you look at this first progression, B flat, E flat, B flat, F, B flat, E flat, F, B flat. When I'm playing all bar chords, I usually start sort of in the center of the neck. Gives me a little room to work, so to speak, and that's kind of the central place, is kind of where we use those the most anyway. So B flat on the 6th string, we know that we have a B at the 7th fret. F, G, A, B. So B flat then is 1 fret lower at the 6th fret. So that's where my bar goes, and because that root note is on the 6th string, I use my E chord shape or my 6th string form and play my B flat major there. So we've got that. Then we're going to go to E flat. When the letters are alphabetically adjacent, so like if it was B to C or something, usually the closest one is just a shift up or down along the neck. But when they're a jump away, then when they're not alphabetically adjacent, then it's usually on the next string, and we actually have an E flat at the 6th fret too. So we know we have a B natural at the 2nd fret, and then C at the 3rd, D at the 5th, E at the 7th, E flat then is at the 6th. So I've got my E flat. Because I'm on that 5th string, I'm going to use the 5th string forms. So my A shape, and I can play it with all of those ones ringing, or I can mute that top string. So B flat to E flat. You might want to go back and forth between B flat and E flat. Kind of get used to that. Then we have an F. Now F and E flat are alphabetically adjacent. The closest one is going to be right there at the 8th fret. So on that 2nd string we have B's at 2nd, and then C 3rd, D 5th, E 7th, and then F is at the 8th. So play our F major there. So we're going to B flat, E flat, B flat, F, B flat, E flat, F, B flat, and we're just going to play through it. We're going to play through it in 4/4 time using a really familiar strumming pattern: down, down, up, down, up. So you got down, down, up, down, up. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, and we got the B flat, up to E flat, back to B flat. This time we're going to go to F. Back to B flat, to E flat, to F, and B flat. Do it again. 1, 2, ready, and we got B flat, up to E flat, back to B flat, up to F, B flat, E flat, F, and B flat. You may need to stretch those hands as you're playing these. I think physically it's a little easier to play them on most guitars as we get into the center part of the neck instead of down in first position, but not all. Some guitars it gets a little bit harder depending on how close your strings are, how your action is set up, as we like to say. Okay, we'll look at another one. You can practice that one as many times as you want to, but we'll practice here in another key. I'm going to jump down to this one, the third one here, and then we'll come back to the second one. But the third one uses sort of the same kind of movement. We're just doing it with different chords. So we start out with A flat. We know on the 6th string we have an A at the 5th fret because we have F, G, A. A flat therefore is at the 4th fret. So we're going to have A flat. So our major shape, we're on the 6th string, so it's the 6th string form. Then we go to D flat. Well, on that 5th string, we know we have a D at the 5th fret, so D flat's at the 4th. So we have B is at 2nd, C is at the 3rd, D is at the 5th, so D flat's at the 4th. So that same movement between A flat and D flat, just like we were doing between B flat and E flat. So that's familiar. And then we have an E flat in here. We already know where E flat's at. We were just playing it, but it's at the 5th, or at the 6th string. We have an E at the 7th on the 5th string, so E flat at the 6th. So go ahead and play this one. It's going to have the same kind of movement, so it should be familiar. So you got 1, 2, ready, and we've got A flat, up to D flat, and A flat, and E flat, A flat, D flat, E flat, and A flat. Do it one more time. 1, 2, ready, and we got A flat, up to D flat, A flat, and E flat, A flat, D flat, E flat, and A flat. Just as simple as that. Now, if we go look at this one in between here, and I'm using chords, these chords in a song, these are likely chords to be seen together. B flat, E flat, and F, A flat, D flat, and E flat. You can also see E flat, A flat, and B flat, and that's the one we'll work on now, is the one here in the middle. So we already know where E flat is, we already know where A flat is, and we already know where B flat is. So we'll go ahead and try this progression. So you got 1, 2, ready, and we got the E flat, to A flat, to E flat, to B flat, E flat, to A flat, to B flat, to E flat. Do it again. 1, 2, ready, and you got E flat, to A flat, to E flat, to B flat, to E flat, to A flat, to B flat, to E flat. Okay, and that wraps us up for this lesson. Once you understand the principle and can locate those notes along the neck, you can play these chords anywhere along the neck. And the best thing, really, physically, I got my bar chords down when I needed to learn them to play a song I wanted to learn. So there's songs out there that use bar chords. It's the best way. It just sort of forces us through the pain, develop those muscles, get that strength in our tendons, ligaments, and this muscle right here. And wahoo, we're off to the races. We can play lots of songs. We can play any chord once we know the bar chords. So in the next lesson, so this lesson we worked on major. In the next lesson, we're going to work on the dominant 7th shapes. So like F7, B flat 7, A flat 7. So I'll see you in that one. Hope you're having fun playing the guitar. Take care.
If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. For more in-depth lessons and to progress through a free guitar course, check out my Guitar 101 series on YouTube and my guitar method books, which all come with access to hours of in-depth video lessons. You can find more information about me and my products at kristenbromley.com. Take care.